Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is not drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. This is real. The official ban list has been revealed. What the fuck? What is this? What am I looking at right now? Like, what just happened? All right, so let's go over this. Okay, so let's. This is some unbelievableness right here. So first off, Gekomoria out of there, Jinbei out of there, Ice Age out of there, Raigo out of there, Kingdom Come, whatever you like to call it. It's all gone. It's all out of the format. All right, it's if you were playing any kind of black deck, it's dead. All right, it is just donezo. The only viable black deck left is Lucci. You can try it. You can really try it, but let's face it, without Gecko Moria, without Ice Age, and without Great Eruption, Black has suffered severely as a color. I knew that they were about to do this. They're really pushing cards into trash with Black, so that's how I noticed that they were about to get rid of this card. I mean, Ice Age, come on, Ice Age had to go. Ice Age very strong. Ice Age is doing way too much. Gecko Moria. Admittedly, I want to see this card get restricted, not just all the way outright banned. But it's gone. It is gone. You know what that means. Black is just hurt. Black is hurt right now. You can try and argue that Black can still make some sort of kind of comeback or some kind of relevance or some sort of wave in the meta, but I'm sorry, it is just not. These two were Black's in game. These two were Black's identity right here. Without these two cards, Black as a color is just severely hurt. Especially without Gecko Moria. I mean, let's just like BY. Like, you really think anybody's gonna play BY Luffy now that this is gone? This is BY Luffy's entire identity right here. Without this card, BY Luffy is done. So it's not a real deck anymore. It doesn't do anything. You just got to be lucky and have all your babies in your end game and pray that that works for you, because you're not just gonna Gecko Moria yourself into a 9,000 liter with 2 blockers anymore. That's just a donezo. When it comes to Doflamingo, he's still around, still going to be a minute, still going to be very much played in this meta. Played differently, yes. Played a little bit more difficult, yes. Still an annoying leader, absolutely. Can't believe that this is all they decided to hit from that deck was Jinbei the Jack. Still very much functions as it would, it just functions without the Jinbei, which I'm pretty sure all they're going to do is just replace this one card with something else, and the deck is still going to run around. And it's in the format until we get into EBO2, where all those guys are just going to switch to playing Luffy. And then we have the Ice Age, of course. Once again, this is just a very big hit to Black as a color. I think that Black will suffer a great deal from the loss of this card. If you're playing any kind of Black leader, not having this card is very, very detrimental. It's very, very crucial for getting rid of bigger bodies on the board, just kind of sort of helping Black stay consistent in the game. Not having that, again, is going to be very hurtful. Raigo for yellow is also a big hit. This is a real big hit, because you have you don't have a whole lot of cards in the game that just generically get rid of anything on the board. I think it was very strange to get rid of Raigo here. Raigo doesn't have a whole lot of versatility to it. You have to be at low life to be able to use this. I know that Luffy players could use this. I know that Nail players use this, and Vagapunk players use this as well. But aside from those, primarily those decks, you know, this is a kind of sort of a heavy cost for any deck to have to play if it's in the in-game scenario, or if you're not one of those leaders I just mentioned. So very surprised that they chose to ban this. I think this is a very interesting hit, especially with the fact that we've only got something they can remove consistently, board removal in blue, and I guess you could say with green, with Shanks and with some other cards in green. But really, this was an interesting choice. I think that all these were interesting choices to hit for the upcoming meta. I think this is really just going to push, as I've personally said, I think this is going to push green and red into a whole nother stratosphere. I think the green and red are about to be really the colors that you want to be looking out for. Like, I'm not saying like the combination, but I'm saying either a combination or even just the color by itself green, or the color by itself red. Both of those are about to be dominant forces. I'm just gonna say, until we get EBO2, both of those colors are about to be dominant forces. There's nothing slowing down Shanks. Shanks' biggest problems were like these cards in these colors. and now these cards don't exist. And so when it comes to, like I say, Bonnie players, when it comes to Shanks players, like I say, these were the cards that were stopping them from running over the competition. Now these cards don't exist, so now I can just quite literally run over the competition without these cards. Like I say, what is BY Luffy to Bonnie? What is BY Luffy to Shanks? What's BY Luffy to anybody in reality without Gecko Moria? So losing that super big, super big. That's very unfortunate. And moving forward here, we're actually going to introduce block rotations. So starting in the April of 2026, moving onwards, we'll be doing block rotations. And block rotations just mean that you'll be able to use these cards from these sets. And this is how they're breaking up the blocks. They're breaking them up in these sections from OPO1 to OPO4, OPO5 to OPO8, OPO9 to OPO12, and so on and so forth. And I'm pretty sure there's going to have 4 sets in each one. So that like OPO4 is going to be 13, 14, 15, and 16. And we'll see how those block rotations affect us going on forward. But like I said, how this is going to work is that for when we start in the new year, we have these block rotation tournaments. And don't worry, they'll still also have regular tournaments where it isn't block rotation. It's just, you know, the regular One Piece tournaments as they have been, not these ones that they'll be introducing. So you have the option to play in both. If you really want to test your skills and see how you can perform in both formats, by all means, try and work your way into both formats, or you just go ahead and play in either one. But that is the big news coming from out of today. That is what we got to know that happened after the World Finals. We got to see that Lucci wind up winning the whole thing. And when I had previously predicted that black was going to be a color, now that black has been slaughtered, I don't think it's going to be a much relevant color in the meta as we previously thought it was going to be. I think that, again, green and red are just going to take over. Green being able to fortress really well, and red having power minus, being able to still get rid of bodies. The power minusing is still very powerful, that hasn't been really explored in the game just yet. So we're about to see how that happens. It's like with this new meta shift that we're about to have, we're about to see how our meta exists until EVO 2 and what is going to come on top. If you ask me, like I say, green is going to be a very powerful color. But, you know, who knows? We'll see once we get there. But thank you guys for watching. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is not a drill.